Welcome Diecast fans, I'm Tom Spanners-Watson.
And I'm Frankie Gary Gibbs.
And welcome to the V8 Super Sprint Series.
If this is the first race of the series you're watching, make sure you check out the Aussie race. There'll be a link in the top right of the video, so you can check out that one.
That's right, but tonight it's all about the Kiwis.
We're going to see which Kiwis want to go up against the Aussies and lose.
Settle down. Alright, in the front row tonight we've got Big Mike for Enzed Racing and Matthew Harding for WCDC. Then we've got Sammy Seatax for General Specific Racing and Ezra Dillon for EMA. Then behind them we've got Craig from Hot Wheels Boys and Chris Carhooner for Big Carhooners.
And I'll be interested to see if any of the Holdens can make it this time after none of the Aussies made it.
The drivers are ready, the cars are ready, let's send them up to the top of the canyon and get this underway. So the Aussies put on quite a show last week. Well, let's see what the Kiwis can do. Oh, looks like we've got a stalled car in the gate. And that's Matthew Harding well out in front. Oh, he rolls over. And that's Chris Carhooner. Chris Carhooner comes from the back of the field to take the win. Followed by Big Mike, Sammy Seatax and Ezra Dillon.
Yeah, Matthew Harding obviously had the pace there.
Maybe his nerves got to him on the first race.
Oh, what happened there? That's Craig from Hot Wheels Boys. What's he doing over? I thought he'd stalled back in the start gate. Let's have a look at the big Carhooner replay. Matthew Harding was well out in front, Big Mike trying to catch up to him. But Matthew Harding rolls it, Big Mike gets a bit tangled up, and look at that overtake there on Sammy Seatax by Chris Carhooner. Look how far behind Craig was from Hot Wheels Boys, and then he's given it the beans there so much he just rolls it into Carhooner corner.
Now this move here, now Carhooner going around Sammy Seatax and then slipping past both Big Mike and Matthew Harding. What a way to start, from the back of the grid all the way to the first place. So Carhooner takes 8 points for first, Big Mike 6 points for second, Sammy Seatax 4 points for third, and Ezra Dillon picking up 3 points for fourth place, the other two 0 for the DNF. So we got Big Mike and Craig from Hot Wheels Boys up front, Matthew Harding in behind with Sammy Seatax. They get underway, Ezra Dillon a little bit slow and behind. Craig with a big lead here. Harding jumps up the inside of Big Mike, challenges for first place, chases down, but Craig feeds it some jandle, takes the win, followed by Big Mike from Enzed Racing, and then that was Ezra Dillon going through. Sammy Seatax stalled out just through Carhooner corner. He'll still pick up half points. Oh, but that's Chris Carhooner.
What, do you stop to have a look at his billboard or something, mate?
I don't know. We're going to have to go back through the big Carhooner replay and find out just what happened there.
So, it looked like Big Mike might have brake checked going into KM corner there. That slowed Chris Carhooner right down. And then he took off, doing what he could to try and catch up. Oh, look at Sammy Seatax here, get his rear end right out wide, manages to pull it back in line, and then, oh, just like in the Aussie race, mate, with Rockatansky, Chris Carhooner comes down, just ploughs into the rear end of Sammy Seatax,
phrasing,
and just pushes him around the corner and stalls himself out. That's a real shame.
But that battle up front was epic. Matthew Harding right up on two wheels there, doing everything he could to try and get around Craig from Hot Wheels Boys. Look at it on this angle. See how high Matthew gets there. Gets a good line, but that Hot Wheels Boys car is fast.
Yeah, it definitely looks like it's the quickest car on the track so far. Be interesting to see how it goes for the rest of the race.
With that, Big Mike from Enzed Racing moves into first place with 10 points. Then the two Caltex cars of Chris Carhooner and Craig from Hot Wheels Boys move into second place with 8 points.
And then you've only got 1 point separating the other three places, so it'll be interesting to see how they go.
The two Caltex cars are in the front row this time, Big Mike and Matthew Harding in behind. Oh, and we've got Sammy Seatax stalled in the gate.
Boy, bit of a premature finish there, mate.
Hey, settle. Hot Wheels Boys storming out to a big lead here, well ahead of the others. And, oh no, Craig goes over, allowing Chris Carhooner to go down. And that looked like Matthew Harding and Big Mike. Oh, and Ezra Dillon is over as well. And there's no sign of Sammy Seatax.
Yeah, I think he's stuck in the start gate, mate. So what actually happened, as we go through the big Carhooner replay, Craig well out in front, unforced error. Luckily for the other two behind him, they go around the inside of him, but Ezra Dillon gets pushed into him by Big Mike by the look of it.
I mean, this car of Craig's is definitely fast, but he is having all sorts of handling issues. Matthew Harding and Chris Carhooner did a great job there, and it looked like a bit of a dirty move from Big Mike and Enzed Racing, just forcing Ezra Dillon wide into the crashed car there. All right, we're just going to tidy things up. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, race fans. So, the scores after that round. Chris Carhooner moves back into first place. Then we've got Big Mike from Enzed Racing on 14 in second place. And Matthew Harding's moved up to third place with 12 points. But it's still early days as we head into race number 4.
Yeah, the Kiwis, I must say, putting on a good show so far.
And surprisingly managing to keep it on track so they can race.
Oh, that Sammy Seatax stalled out again in the start gate. I guess you could say he's having some performance issues.
Hey, let's just focus on the racing. And it's a clean race up front so far. As they run down to the finish line, Ezra Dillon takes the win. And that's Matthew Harding just very slowly rolling across the line. And oh, that's Big Mike over in Carhooners corner.
And look, I told you that spectator didn't die. He's moved on.
Chalk outline.
Alright, let's have a look at the big Carhooner replay. As we look at jump camp, Ezra Dillon with a perfectly balanced jump, and oh, look at Big Mike! That's incredible. How did he even stay on track there?
Oh, mate, I don't know. He should have gone right through the cars and into the infield. We saw that happen with the Aussies a lot. But look at this. He gets his rear end up, clips the back of the rally car, bounces back on, he catches his rear wing. That holds him on the track. He almost overbalances and then manages to roll back down. Now, the bonus for him is, even though it's a DNF, he does get to go into the next race because he is technically still on track because he's touching the track.
Favoritism much?
Would have been the same for the Aussies, but you guys leapt into the infield. So, Chris Carhooner holds on to first spot. Matthew Harding moves into second place now with 15 points, and it's 14 equal for Ezra Dillon and Big Mike from Enzed Racing.
Wow, this is turning into quite a close race. There's no one right out in front like D Platt in the Aussies, but it's still entertaining.
So this time we've got Sammy Seatax up front after 2 DNSs. Let's see if he can get going. It's looking okay so far. Big Mike a bit slow out of the gate after that accident. And here comes Craig from Hot Wheels, boys, trying to overtake. Oh, he rolls it. He pulls it, Lily the dog. Does he finish? No, that's Chris Carhooner. Chris Carhooner goes through. Looked like Matthew Harding went through. And Big Mike gets caught up again. Now, all 3 of those drivers will get half points for where they've finished. But let's go back through the replay and find out what happened.
Sammy Seatax here catching his rear end, getting flicked up into the air. Craig saw his opportunity, went up the inside, but again gets it wrong coming out of the corner. He goes wide. Seatax tries to get around him going high. That was the wrong move. Chris Carhooner and Matthew Harding go down the inside, take the right line. You see it here. So Craig comes around, rolls. Seatax sees him roll, tries to go high, but Ezra Dillon, Matthew Harding get through there, and poor Big Mike from Enzed Racing just gets clipped, and that takes him out.
Big Mike having a rough night tonight. I had high hopes for that Holden. It was good in practice, but he's just not able to get it down to the finish line often enough at the moment. So Chris Carhooner holds on to first place. Ezra Dillon now moves into second, Matthew Harding third. But this is still anybody's race at this point as we head into the final lap. Chris Carhooner would have to be a finalist, Ezra Dillon possibly, but anything can happen and we've seen it before. So this time we've got Matthew Harding up front with Sammy Seatax, Ezra Dillon in behind with Chris Carhooner. Harding out in front. Oh, Craig with the overtake there. Not sure if he made it through clean or not. He did. And that's all of the drivers through, so no accidents on the final lap. Unfortunately, the chase cam missed it, so let's go back through the big Carhooner replay and find out what happened.
So this was just a brilliant battle. Matthew Harding out in front, Sammy Seatax and Ezra Dillon were battling, didn't even notice the Caltex forward of Craig from Hot Wheels boys cuts to the inside here. Look at this, 3 wide round Carhooner corner, gets past both of them cleanly, and then look at this move by Big Mike here, getting around Chris Carhooner as well.
Wow, that is some superb driving from all of these drivers for such close racing to have no wrecks on that lap. That is impressive.
Yeah, just need one more look at this overtake. That is the move of the night, that one. And then a clean run down to the finish. So with all drivers finishing, let's have a look at how the points finished up.
Alright, so Chris Carhooner, not surprisingly, takes out the number 1 spot. Matthew Harding comes through with the 27 to take second place, and Ezra Dillon will be the 3rd Kiwi taking on the Aussies with 25 points. Unfortunately, we say goodbye to Big Mike, Sammy Seatax, and Craig from Hot Wheels boys. So even though Hot Wheels boys had the fastest car of the night, the control issues just put them off track too often.
Congratulations to the Kiwis, some good racing, but no one has the points that D Platt has.
Well, if you look at the overall totals, mate, these 3 drivers have more than your 3 drivers.
Yeah, but only one can win it, and D Platt's going to be my man to take out the series. In fact, mate, I'd say right now you're looking at one of the winning drivers for this whole series. Right here, and it's in Aussie.
Actually, I think you'll find the winner's going to be on this side, where the winners are, the Kiwi side. Thanks very much for watching. I'm Tom Spanners Watson, he's Frank the Guru Gibbs, and we will see you next week for the epic conclusion of the V8 Super Sprint series. And remember, if you like this video, hit that like button, leave us a comment, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss a video. We're going to let you go out tonight with this crash from Big Mike at Enzed Racing. See you next week.
You know the Aussies are going to take this out, mate. We've got the fastest driver on the track who's scored the most points.
Yeah, but next week, mate, the points go back to 0, so everyone's starting fresh. And the Kiwi drivers were way more consistent.
Well, apart from the guy that couldn't get started.
Hey,